Hey everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of the first witness on day 1 in the Chad Daybell case. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button if you would, please, to share the love. It is much needed. And we're gonna get back into it. I think where we left off, we were at JJ's POL, or LPL. LPOL? His last known proof of life. I'm just reading my notes. Sorry, hold on. Alright. And like I said, then they go over JJ's proof of life. Last known proof of life. They found this on Lori's iCloud account again. They found a photo of JJ sitting on the couch in the Rexburg condo in a pair of red pajamas. Now, these red pajamas are something to remember for later. It was taken out on September 22nd, 2019 at 11:46 a.m. They found no pictures of JJ after this date. After this, they went back out, reaching out to anyone who may know where the children are, or anyone who would have information on where the children are. And then they asked about Tammy's odd death. And that's how they said it, Tammy's odd death, on 10/19/19. And he told them, he didn't think much about it because his primary investigation was the location of JJ and Tylee. And then he is asked if he ever got a warrant for Chad's house. And then they go over some more photos of Chad's house and Google Earth of Chad's property. And then he states that he got a warrant on June 9th, 2020, and he got there at 7 o'clock in the morning. He says he forgets why he was going out to Chad's on the warrant, which I find a little odd that you would forget what provoked you to get a warrant for somebody's house. He says multiple agencies went with him to do the search. They had an evidence recovery team with them. And he says when they first went to Chad's, they made first contact with one of his sons. He said it was early when he answered the door. When he answered the front door, they said they needed to talk to his dad. And he's like, I'm sorry, Dad's asleep. And the cop was like, I got a warrant. And the kid was like, oh, okay then, come on in, fine sir. Dad's upstairs asleep in the loft. Do you need me to take you up? And the cop, the lead investigator, and a few other cops go up to wake Chad up. And, they watch Chad get dressed, and they bring him downstairs, and they have everybody sit in the living room. And Chad's sitting there with his lazy boy, probably paying the poop in his pants. And he goes, hey, is it okay if I call my lawyer to make sure I should allow all this? Can't really stop a warrant, buddy. And the officers tell him yes. He says, well, am I allowed to, go? Y'all don't, need me here for this, do you? And the officer was like, he didn't see why he had to leave. But if he had to, he would have an officer go with him to make sure he was safe. And I think, this was kind of in a way to try to calm Chad down a little bit. Because if they're trying to make sure you're safe, then obviously they're not there for you, right? They're to keep you safe. Maybe somebody's harming you. Like the man that tried to shoot your first wife last October. But anywho, off that rant. Then the cop would follow. Chad went outside to make a call, and the lead detective says, I went outside with him. I was going everywhere Chad was going, if he liked me or not. And then Chad wanted to know if he could sit in one of his cars. Now, I need a pen. You got the driveway. You got the driveway like this. This is the car. This is the front of the car. This is the trunk of the car. It's backed in. This is the backyard of the house over here. It's backed in the driveway. The cop sits here. Chad gets in the car. As Chad is in this car, you know, the cop says that it looks pretty normal. Like a conversation, just a normal conversation. Somebody's sitting in there talking, oh my God, the cops showed up this morning, a whole bunch of them. They're searching everywhere. They're ripping my house apart. They're digging in my backyard. What is going on? Why are they here? It was pretty normal. I mean, I don't think the cop could quite hear what he was saying because he was inside the car and the cop was in front of the car standing on the side in the grass. But he says as the call continues, Chad keeps looking over his right shoulder. And in the backyard, they got the evidence recovery teams back there poking around. So Chad keeps looking over his right shoulder. And the cop said he found this odd. He wanted to see what Chad kept looking at. So he positioned himself more in front of the car so he could look back and look and see what would be in that general direction that Chad is looking at. And he said he saw a pond. And he said there was an evidence recovery team over by the pond. He said back there making off sections near the tree by the pond. And then he was asked, well, okay, what did you do after all this? And then he says his next task was sifting. You know, wire sifting sand. Like you did when you were a kid at the beach. Sifting through the fire pit in the backyard. He said he did this at 9 p.m. and he only did it for 35 to 45 minutes. He said he didn't find anything at the time. And then he went to sift a different spot over by the tree. They marked a 6x6 section of dirt. A section that had dirt and sod. And he said all around it were like taller shrubs. And this little 6x6 patch was missing the taller shrubs. It was missing shrubs, and they found it odd. So they investigated it. I mean, he really makes it sound like this spot had been messed with. And, once they started digging, they dig up the sod and, you know, the loose dirt, and they come to a layer of rocks. They dig those out. He said then they come to a layer of boards. And they remove those boards. And then they start slowly digging out. They get to like loose dirt. And they slowly start digging. And before they started digging, he did state, I forgot to add this part, he did state that they could smell the smell of decomp. And I guess anybody in the homicide unit knows that smell. Because I've been told it's not a smell that you ever forget. And I can't imagine you would. Hold on, my throat's dry. So, like I said, they start digging. They go through all these layers. They get down to, after they get underneath those boards, they're looking at okay. Brandon's getting upset. Hold on. They dug further and saw what looked to be the crown of a small head. And that is where I had to stop for the day. There was no court on Friday. I was not able to watch Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So I'm going to finish day one's direct today and hopefully get through Cross. I'm going to speed trial. Hopefully I will have another update for you guys in the morning. Hopefully even later on tonight, if I can get through it. For my mental health, I'm going to have to take this. I thought I was going to be able to do this. Oh yeah, end of each day, go over each witness, go over what was said. This isn't going to affect me at all. But I have watched so many family annihilating cases here lately that for my own mental health, I'm going to have to take this one a little slower, and y'all are going to have to bear with me. And even if I can't post about this case, I'll probably post about Georgia or YSL while I gather up the facts about this case. I love y'all. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging in there. I know this has been a rocky start, but I can only get better, right? And y'all can grow with me, and we can do this. I love you. Have a great day. Stay safe.